Welcome to AP Workshops. Welcome to our little addendum, if you like. I think that's how you pronounce it, to our normal day-to-day stuff that we do, the normal walk-around stuff that we do. We've been asked for a list or an idea or a little bit of a film to give people about some ideas about upgrades. So I feel a bit like a market trader, but that's absolutely fine. It's not a problem. These are the little bits and pieces that if you have a look on our website, www.apworkshops.co.uk, we have an essential upgrade section. So these are the parts for your Vtwin motorcycle, not just the Vtwin. There are parts in there for the V4 as well, but if you have a look for the Vtwin motorcycle, you need some update parts which will help you or overcome any issues that you might have, or these will help you sort of hop up some performance parts, that kind of stuff. There's a couple of bits and pieces that we've got which we can give you an idea about to help you make your bike that little bit easier to live with, if you like. So we've got, and I'm going to kind of walk around this work around this tray. Side stands are quite big. If you have a look on basically forums and Facebook pages, anybody got any idea about what it's going to take to get my side stand to work a little bit better? So we have basically 5-blade side stands. The pattern on them actually spreads out a little bit more, okay, and it's basically slightly longer. So this actually makes the bike a little bit more stable. You can have one of those, no problems. That's it. We've got upgraded suspension bearings. Now, suspension bearings should be dealt with at least once a year to be greased. There aren't, if you have a look in what we call the dog bone, if you have a look in the standard dog bone, there isn't any grease nipples in there to actually make sure you can get grease into them. So they need stripping at least once a year, depending on the mileage, the type of riding that you do. So if you strip those, have a quick look at those. We've got kits which can sort you out with bearings, fresh seals, no problems. You also get free what we call spooky washers. These are Teflon washers which actually fit. If you imagine when you're building around the outside of this, which is just another sort of little advantage, if you have a quick look at that, another way of being able to make sure that you keep the dirt out and the grease that you've put on in. Okay, they help. You'll find those in the section, no problems. Batteries, the essential, and this is why we called it the essential selection. So sort of basically batteries and starter solenoids. The battery technology that was on these bikes when they were made was basically sort of 5-6 years old at that particular point. So if you have a quick look, there are better batteries in stock. We tend to recommend the Yuasa TTZ14 battery. That's a much better battery. That has a much higher CCA rating. If you have a quick look on the side, you can see that the CCA rating is 230, and I think the standard battery was about 90. 150 amp starter solenoids. It all goes to helping your bike start, save damaging sprag assemblies, this kind of stuff. It all helps. If you have a quick look, give us a quick shout if you need any information on one of those. But that starter solenoid, coupled with a good battery, coupled with what we call our mate Johnny Walker, our mate John Walker, he makes and did a lot of time to make, and spent a bit of time, quite a lot of time actually, researching how to make some proper kits with some proper upgraded cables. The cables on the Gen 1 and Gen 2 bikes can be slightly too small. The batteries that they came with weren't quite as powerful, so the cables were okay. But if you're fitting updated batteries, fit some updated cables, these come with some silicone that you can actually use to sort of insulate and to stop the battery cables and terminals going on, and full fitting instructions, no problems. That is a great upgrade. The best upgrade by far for a long old time, for a long way, if you want to upgrade your bike, is to fit different sprockets. Front sprockets and rear sprockets. Renthal front sprocket we've got here as it goes, so that'll make my mate Terry. How you doing, Terry? That'll make him happy, no problems. And the Talon rear sprockets, they do last. They are aluminium. We have got steel, we have got Renthal sprockets, we have got Talon sprockets. We've got each, and not a problem. They do last if you look after them. We have proof, no questions. These are just a selection of the few parts that we recommend as essential upgrades. If you want to get in touch with us, okay, and ask questions about these, no problems. You can email us at sales@apworkshops.co.uk. There was a Freudian slip. Or you can go on the website www.apworkshops.co.uk. Any questions, give us a shout. Take care.